Hello and welcome to Kate's Paper Creations. I'm Kate, a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Washington State, and I welcome you to my monthly Paper Pumpkin Alternatives video and blog. This is for the October 2020 kit called Joy to the World. This is the box that came in. I'm not going to go through all the contents. If you have it already, you already know what's in it. And I'm just going to get right into showing you the cards I made and telling you how I made them. Before I get too far along though, I do want to say I've always worked to save scraps that can be used in different ways to make other cards. And so in the kit are some foil words, peace, joy, and love in several languages. And when they're done, when you're done punching those out, you could possibly save some of the frames and make some frames, gold frames to use for something. Also a couple of the edges off that you can save as gold strips for accent pieces. Then there's some tags in the kit, and when they're done being punched out, you can save some of the frames for those. You can use them as just plain white or ink them up and use them on some other cards. So that gives you some extra pieces that you may be able to use with your kits. Let me just jump right in. I'm not going to actually make the cards. I'm going to just tell you how I made them because their contents are somewhat limited and I have to save pieces to make cards with my monthly gathering group that we do, Paper Pumpkin Gathering Group. This is the stamp set that is in the kit. Has all the things you see here. And let's get started. This is card number 1. The cards in the kit are a little bit different size than I'm used to for the standard A2 card. They're a little bit narrower and longer, so that does make it easy to cut things down and use for regular cards. And there are 8 cards altogether. 4 of them have this lovely gold foil stripe going right to left, and 4 of them have it go up and down. So there's that. So I took one of those cards, cut it apart, and used a piece here. So that's a 5 1/4 by, 5 1/4 by 4 piece of that cut from the card to front. And it's just attached flat with adhesive. Then this lovely piece in the center came from the envelopes. The inside of the envelopes have this lovely design in them, and if you open them up carefully, you can cut it down. This particular piece is 2 by 4, and it's laid flat as well. When you cut them, you just want to make sure you've got your words in the right orientation. This frame came from the kit, and I attached it with dimensionals. This word joy with the foil came from the kit, and I used my Zig 2-way glue pen and just put some glue on this parts of these letters and stuck it down. Then the kit came with Just Jade ink stamp, and this is a little tag that was in the kit, and I just stamped the To the World with that. And the base, of course, is Whisper White Thick, cut 5 1/2 by 8 1/2, scored at 4 1/4, which makes a standard A2 greeting card. So the only thing that didn't come from the kit for this card was the base card. That's card number 1. Card number 2 is a Whisper White Thick card base. This stamp for joy came from the card, and again, this is the Just Jade ink. And I just put it on, I just put the word joy onto a block like this, and I just used this to edge the card and just went joy, 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 just like that. It was easy to see through the block and space them, and then I put To the World down there. This tree came from Winter Woods, and I just stamped it with the Just Jade, and then I came back with some Wink of Stella and added some shimmer. Super, super simple card. So that one's not kit only. The next one, card number 3, is also a kit only card. I used the note card sized card base, so it is 5 by 7, scored at 3 1/2 to make a 5 by 3 1/2 note card. Then I took one of, they have several pieces of the white in the kit that are embossed, and they look like that sweater embossed folder that we used to have. and I took the larger of the two. There's two sizes. I took the larger of the two and cut 3 strips. Each one of these is 1 1/4 inches by 3. And then I took from the kit, I stamped sending, and then this to you and yours is on all one length, but I just inked one end and then the other and stamped them separately so it would fit on here. Sending to you and yours, and the piece is also in the kit. It's one of the foil words in the kit. These are attached with dimensionals, and this is the other part of the envelope, another part of the envelope. Now, when I cut that envelope apart, I'll go back to this. Both of these pieces came out of the envelope. This came out of the larger portion, and this came out of the flap section. And so there was enough out of one envelope to do both of these cards. And so that was card number 3. Card number 4, I took another one of those card bases. This is the one that has the lines that went up and down, and I cut it to 4 by 5 1/4. Then I added some Whisper White, and so let's see, the Whisper White is, get my numbers here right, 3 1/4 square. And then the back of the cards is this crumb cake color, I believe. Kind of looks like a crumb cake color. And I cut it just 1/4 inch smaller, so it would be 3 inches square. Then this sentiment piece, the white, is lost my notes here. 1 3/8, 1 3/8 by 4, and then this is another part of that card back, and it's cut so that it leaves that 1/8 inch. So it's 1 1/8 by 4, and so it leaves that little white border. I stamped the words in the wreath with Just Jade, and the only thing not in the kit is this bow, and that is the Just Jade ribbon from one of the other, from the other catalog, from this holiday catalog. So that's the only thing that's non-kit. This part and this part are both attached with dimensionals, and the card front piece here, this first layer, is laid on flat with regular adhesive. So there's card number 4. Then card number 5, again, is just a Whisper White thick card base, 5 1/2 by 8 1/2, scored at 4 1/4. I took another piece of a card front and I cut it 3 by 4 5/8. Then I took an envelope apart and I cut this piece 2 3/4 by 4 3/8. And if you do it carefully, you can get 2 of these out of the envelope, and then you've got enough to make 2 cards. This foil tag was in the kit, and I attached it with dimensionals. The thread is in the kit. It's cherry cobbler thread. I made a triple layer of that to make my bow. It was about 8 inches long is all I used, and gave it a little more body. This flower's in the kit, and it's attached with dimensionals as well. And then I stamped the Merry Christmas from the set onto Whisper White, and I fussy cut it out because the tag just covered up too much of the gold, and I didn't like the way it looked. So I decided to just fussy cut it out, and I just attached it with some regular adhesive. And that is card number 5. So there are the cards, the alternative cards I have made for this month. I hope you enjoyed today's video. I will be posting the information, more information about these with measurements and stuff on my blog. So if you want to go there to get measurements, you can, and that's at katespapercreations.org. But I will also put a link in the description, so you'll go right to this particular post. So there you go. I appreciate you stopping by. I hope that if you are interested in subscribing to Paper Pumpkin, that you would subscribe through me, and I'll put a link for that in the description as well. Bye.